This is an Eye on Annapolis bonus podcast.
You know, I'll tell you, it is so fun to come down to the market house. And I'm sitting here looking at a sign called Billy Goat Pizza, and I've not tried it yet, but I've heard wonderful things about it. And I will say, let me give kudos to, I guess, Mayor Panelides and to Mayor Buckley for really getting this open and back and thriving again. It's so excited. But we are here today with Erik Evans, who is the Executive Director of the Downtown Annapolis Partnership. And how are you?
Good. It's good to be here.
Good. Yeah. Good to see you again. And you also wear two hats. Okay. You're wearing you're the Downtown Annapolis Partnership and the Annapolis Arts District Executive Director, right?
Yes.
How do you do it all?
One day at a time.
I got to say, I've said this to so many people that, and we want to talk about the holidays. That's what we're here for. But the arts in Annapolis has exploded over the last 7 to maybe 8 years. And it's so exciting to see the murals coming up, the Arts Week. You've got just everything is so wonderful. And I know that you work really well with the Anne Arundel County Arts Council and everybody else. But kudos to you and whoever works on your team to make sure that this arts explosion is happening.
Thank you. We're really lucky to live in Annapolis and be in an area that has so many different arts organizations. We're happy to be a part of it.
We do. And think it all started off with a guy that painted a painting on the side of a building who's now our mayor. Not really, but it was that was sort of one of the catalysts. But you are the architect, sort of the merriment that's about to descend on Annapolis for the month of December, and I guess the month of December. A little bit of November, I guess it is. And we wanted to sit down and talk with you about everything that's happening, if you can possibly remember it all. But the holidays are such a special time in Annapolis, and I'm sure every small town in America says that as well. But I think it is really a little bit different here. We've got so much going for us. We are the state capital. We are on the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. We've got I forget what the number they tell us is the most 18th century original homes of any place in the country or something like that. And we really embrace it. And that's what really makes it sort of special.
Absolutely. And, Travel Leisure Magazine just ranked Annapolis as one of the top 25 Christmas towns in the U.S.
But I did see that. And, that's not too shabby of an endorsement.
Yeah, it's a great upscale travel publication, and so it's a great honor to get mentions like that. And we get this every couple of years from different publications, so it's a nice affirmation of the work that we do here in Annapolis for the holidays.
Well, it's good, and not to diss on them, but it's not like What's Up Annapolis or the Capitol is doing it because they're a little bit biased.
Right.
This is the big deal. But we are starting to get into just a huge busy time in Annapolis. We've got Small Business Saturday, which is coming up quicker than anybody cares to admit, but it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which is, we'll let Black Friday go to the malls and everything else. Not that our stores aren't going to be open, but we've got Small Business Saturday, which is, and American Express started that, right?
American Express started that 11 years to honor the small businesses that make up most of the employment in the U.S.
They really do. And you look, and I've looked at some of the different businesses in town and the sheer number of them. And they could be little single, a chiropractor, and they're, little tiny businesses, but they are, the bulk of business in Annapolis and probably Anne Arundel County, I haven't talked with economic development, but is small, locally owned businesses.
That's true.
The checks and the money, the credit cards, everything is staying right here in town. And when you buy a ring or something from Zachary's Jewelers, after they pay their employees and their rent and everything else, the profit and everything else, it gets turned back in there. He's going up the road to eat at that new place that I haven't been to either, but that Al Aquaduo, which I've not been to either. And spending his money there and just sort of recirculating it. And that's really critical for the survival of small business in around anywhere.
Right, and the small businesses are what keep our town unique. So it's your favorite coffee shop or restaurant or cafe or retail store. When they're locally owned, they have that unique feel that you don't find when you go to other towns.
True. Well, after we're done with our turkey and we're done carving it all up and making turkey soup and whatever else we're going to be doing with that, We've got Small Business Saturday, so come on out on Saturday. All the stores downtown, Maryland Avenue, West Street, West Annapolis, they're all going to be open. And these are all the small locally stores, and you do need to support them. It's critical for everybody's survival there. But coming right after that on Sunday, and I know we've talked with Steve Samaras, and he's bringing in the Chesapeake Ballet to do the Nutcracker out in front of his store, and he's got big things planned for the store going into the season. But that is also the day of the Grand Illumination, where the tree down at City Dock gets finally, I would say set ablaze, but that's probably not the right word, but just set alight.
The Christmas tree will be lit that evening, Sunday evening, and it's a fun time with the ballet. We'll have some other community groups performing. And then Santa and Mrs. Claus and Elfie will all show up for the final countdown for the tree lighting.
Elfie's new this year. She sort of muscles her way into everything, doesn't she?
She is. You know, if there's a Christmas event in Annapolis, you will discover Elfie.
That's for sure. Well, it's good to hear that Santa is coming back. Will Santa be coming on a trolley?
Santa will be on a boat.
On a boat this year?
Yes. So Santa will be driven in by a boat. Our tree is sponsored by South Annapolis Yacht Center, and they will be driving in Santa, Mrs. Claus, and Elfie in for the tree lighting on the boat.
Very cool. Well, I know the Grand Illumination is really the kickoff of downtown. And from there, we roll right into the Midnight Madnesses, which I had a discussion with somebody, and we think it should be called Midnight Mad Nye. Okay, with the two S's, it just sounds a little bit weird. But that's on December 1st, 8th, and 15th, which are the first 3 Thursdays of the month. And what's on plan for that? For those that don't know, that's where the stores will stay open until midnight, so you can come out and shop. So the suggestion is to come down early, get a dinner someplace, and spend the rest of the night strolling, shopping, listening to the music and everything else that's there. But what's planned for this year?
Absolutely. You know, I encourage people to come down early, enjoy a happy hour or dinner, and then get out shopping. There will be entertainment lining all the streets. You know, there's a holiday light canopy on Maryland Avenue and West Street. The tree will be lit. The light posts downtown all be having their garland and wreaths put up. So the street is just the Charles Dickens feel, plus with the entertainment. You go in the stores, a lot of them have refreshments and things, and sales going on. So it's just a really fun, festive time to go shopping those nights.
I will say that Midnight Madness there's several people in town that I see once a year for whatever reason. And Midnight Madness is usually it. You know, you turn the corner and it's like, oh my gosh, Heather, I haven't seen you in a year. Yeah, it was this time last time. Or, it was, and it's really a great time, especially if there's like a little nip in the air.
Absolutely. And I even suggest, get in the festive spirit, put on that crazy holiday hat or ugly Christmas sweater and, come out and be part of the merriment.
That's true. Well, one of the things you do need to do is Snowflake Alley, which was somewhat of a new addition. It's probably going on 7 or 8 years now, I think. But it's I don't even know the name of the proper alley, but it's the alley going between Main Street and the State House.
Cabbage Alley was the original name, and it is a great photo op. People line up in there all through the holiday season. And actually, we just got it lit the other night, so it is currently up and running. It's a great place to come to a great photo op.
Well, that's cool. Well, who's sponsoring all of the Midnight Madnesses in the holiday season? I mean, I know that Sheehy Lexus is always...
Sheehy Lexus has been a great sponsor for many years. They're back again this year. Sean O'Neill is sponsoring Snowflake Alley.
That's RBG Wealth Management,
RGB
right?
Wealth Management, so it's great to have them back. Deals Produce brings us in the Christmas tree, and the tree is sponsored by South Annapolis Yacht Center. So we got a nice group of people that help support it. Downtown Annapolis Partnership puts up money for it. The city of Annapolis puts up money for it. So it's a great group of partners working.
And I know you've got Garden Girls who keeps our downtown looking beautiful too. They're charged with decorating the tree, right?
So Garden Girls is contracted by Downtown Annapolis Partnership to help put up the decorations, including the tree. This year's tree ornaments are designed by artist Commissel Brown, who's a local artist, and he worked with kids from Box of Rain and the after-school programs at Maryland Hall, and those kids are actually paint it and help with making all the ornaments. So the ornaments are all locally made by kids, and with the help of Commissar Brown this year.
That's awesome. Well, Cell Spitfire, Commissar is a great guy. We were in Leadership Anne Arundel together. He is a co-painter along with Cindy Fletcher Holden of the giant mural on the Arundel Center, which is very cool. But you're going to be hearing lots from him because he has purchased the old Art Things, which was in West Annapolis, moved into Maryland Hall, and it's going to be rebranded as Art House. He's also doing the artwork for the Annapolis Film Festival. He's the new artist for that. Joe Barson.
Oh, excellent. I didn't know that.
Has stepped aside. So you're going to see Commissar's work all over the place. And the most notable is the big, huge mural. But the solo work I think he did was the on the side of Pinky's on West Street, the Carlester Walking Man mural.
He's also recently did artwork for the Washington Commanders football teams.
Yep, he did some of their tunnels and everything else. That was a collaboration between, I think, like 13 or 14 different artists. But great talent that we've got here. And sort of to tie in with how we started this thing is, the arts community is just exploding around here. But besides shopping at night, there's other things. There's the Chocolate Binge Festival, which was, I believe, your idea at one point, and it's just blown up. That's on December 4th, which is a Sunday, I think, right?
Yes, so the first Sunday of December. That's always a fun event on the first block of West Street.
Pretty much anything chocolate.
Yes.
Right. I mean, if you just, bring the kids, have them dose up, and tell them to go home and have a nap. See how that works out. Following right up on the heels of that, it's something new this year. I saw this, and I'm not sure. I'd like to talk a little bit about it. But the Annapolis Holiday Market, which is down here at City Dock, and is it actually on market space, or is it going to be down on the dock?
It's going to be on the dock between the Harbor Master and Susan Campbell Park. So that'll be a new event that'll kick off during the second Midnight Madness. And it'll also be running through the Eastport Yacht Club's Lights Parade.
That's on the 10th.
And that's on Saturday the 10th. And the market goes through that Sunday on the 11th.
And what are the hours of it?
So the hours will be Thursday night. It'll start at 4 o'clock on Thursday for the Midnight Madness. And then the rest of the week it'll open at 11 o'clock. Friday and Saturday it'll run till 9. And Sunday it'll run till 5.
Okay. So anybody has a chance to get down here. And that's going to be right down right on the City Dock.
Right on the City Dock.
That's cool. Well, Lights Parade, you mentioned that. That is December 10th. That's Saturday. It's always the same day as Army-Navy football. That is also a sight to see. Stake out your place on the Eastport or the Spot Creek Bridge, depending on how you want to refer to it, or along City Dock. Just the mariners in town go all out with their lighted boats. And I know I was talking to the mayor, and he said that a lot of them will be moored in Ego Alley throughout the holidays as well, so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's a new fun thing that Visit Annapolis helped sponsor this year, paying so the boats could stay docked after the boat parade for the holiday season. So if you missed that night, you can come back and check it out. And again, makes great photo ops. And
okay, the pro tip here on the photo op: go all the way down to the end of the City Dock, like where the Harbor Queen is, on that very last finger pier. Go all the way out on the finger pier and shoot up Ego Alley. You've got a fairly clear shot of the water, but you'll have all those boats there with the lights. You'll have the lights at Market House. You'll have the Capitol, which is in its big diaper right now. But
actually, I thought they lit that up early for Christmas. Isn't that Christmas lights on the dome?
Which actually looks kind of cool right now. But I mean, just the town looks absolutely so beautiful. I used that for my Christmas card last year, so that's my pro tip there. And then, we take a little bit of a lull. Then we roll right into New Year's Eve, which, again, is also a real fun time down in Annapolis. We've got entertainment, bands, we've got fireworks, of course. And are they doing the 2 fireworks?
I believe they are, but it's all going to be on City Dock this year. For a couple years he did an early event at behind the Maryland Hall. But it's all going to be at City Dock this year, so there will be a tent set up with music and the fireworks. So it definitely has some family friendly, and if you want to do the adult entertainment, you head to the bars and you can have drinks there and enjoy music inside the bars.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories from City Dock New Year's Eve, we're down at the very end of the dock ready for the fireworks to go off, and this schleppy looking guy comes out, and he's got this battery pack with 2 car batteries. and he's got this giant bullhorn, and he's like, excuse me. It's like the guy in Animal House that's trying to put the chains across, with the... Okay, so he gets up there, and then he hefts this speaker up onto one of the pilings, and he's going to blow this giant foghorn with this 12-volt batteries just to ring in the new year and just make a lot of noise. So he's so excited. He's got this look in his eyes, and the crowd is starting to count down as 10, 9, 8, 7, right? And he finally puts the jumper cables on the thing, and the thing goes... and the look of disappointment on his face is, he was expecting this giant wah! He's telling everybody, cover your ears. This thing goes wah, wah, wah. It was awesome. My kids were about 2 at the time, but it was many years ago, but it was hysterical. And it is a fun family time down. And if your kids can hang, they get 2 fireworks for the price of 1.
Yes, absolutely. And right before New Year's Eve, we have the Military Bowl Parade, too, which is just another fun afternoon, our morning activity to come down to Annapolis for.
That's right. That is in honor of my birthday this year, which is awfully nice of them to do that. But it kicks off at 10 a.m. down here at City Dock, goes up Main Street, up a little bit of West Street, down Calvert, down into Rao Boulevard, and up to the stadium. And the Budweiser Clydesdales will be leading that parade. And the Military Bowl's at 2 o'clock on, I think it's airing on ESPN, but tickets are available. I know you can get them at militarybowl.org. It's a great venue to see a bowl game. It's small enough. The tickets are affordable enough. You're not paying gazillions of dollars for the Rose Bowl or the Sugar Bowl. But you always do see some good college football there, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, I do want to talk about some of the struggles that we got here. Everybody, talks about, oh my gosh, it's the parking downtown. And I've always said there's never been a problem with parking. Even before they started reconstructing Hillman, there was always plenty of parking. There may not be parking in front of the store that you want to go to, which is to be expected. But you're not parking in front of the 7-Eleven in the mall either. You're parking out in the parking lot and walking in there. So, but the city has done a outstanding job, I think. And you may disagree or not, but mitigating the concept of people thinking there's no parking and it's so difficult to move around downtown. Yes, the Hillman garage is down. Boy, is it.
Actually, it's going back up. It's going up pretty quickly, I believe.
Yeah, it's like rising from the ashes. But, and so we don't have those 400 spots or whatever it is. But the city has gone and they've got outer garages. They're running these free shuttles that will take you from the outer garages. There are the Annapolis Go, which is sort of like a little citywide Uber, if you will, for $2. Will pick you up and take you in there. If you feel brave, sober, and skilled enough, you've got the scooters, the electric scooters that are all around the Bird and the Bird bikes. Go-karts or the golf carts are running around as well that can take you. And, it's walk.
It is. I came downtown this morning via the free circulator and dropped me off right down at City Dock. The City Dock parking lot this morning's not full. The Annapolis Go rideshare program is great. If you never even used it, your first ride is free. And they are extending their hours during Midnight Madness. So if you are a local, you could take that right into downtown at no charge if it's your first time riding.
That's awesome. Well, also, I was talking to Steve Samaras, and he said that the downtown merchants have gotten together to work with a ballet program at the Waterfront Annapolis Hotel.
Yeah.
It's not free, but not horribly expensive like you would typically expect a waterfront hotel valet parking to be. But if you are parking with, parking valet, you can pull up to the Waterfront Hotel, and they will help the downtown merchants. Many of them will help subsidize the parking fees. And then also the downtown merchants, the city, because of the construction, has given most of the downtown area merchants vouchers to park in the garages, so the God's Court or the Knighton or...
So there's the city passed out over $70,000 worth of free parking stickers to retail and restaurants this past month to give out to customers to use at God's Garage during the holidays. And each voucher is good for 2 hours.
So that's, if you're shopping downtown, ask if they've got a voucher for you.
Absolutely.
So there are plenty of ways to do that. And also the pro tips on Gott's Garage. When you go in, your natural inclination is to go up Never go up.
Go down.
Always go down. There's like 5 floors below. There's only like 2 or 3 above. You might have a better view upstairs, but downstairs is the way to go because there's always some spots, even when you get down onto the bottom thing there. What is the status? Do you know the status of the garage? I mean, I know you get the updates from the city.
So the city updated us last week on the garage, and they are still projecting a opening date in June.
Very cool.
So it is still on schedule. It won't be completed in June, so they'll still have to do some work of bricking the outside of the garage and stuff, but cars are scheduled to be able to start parking there come June.
And that moved the garage from about 400 and some odd spots. It's going to go up to almost 700. So it's going to be an awful lot of additional parking that'll be available to us.
Absolutely.
Right. Another caution I'm going to do is for people that are parking downtown that you may have also sometimes been able to get lucky and get a street parking out of the metered areas. Those have all now been sort of converted to pay by app. So there is no freebie spots like there used to be anymore. So you do need to make sure that you check the signage. If you have a resident, parking permit, you're good. But you want to make sure that you do pay by the app, and that's
Park.
You just look for the zone, you put it in there. It's very simple. You can preload it with your car information and your credit card and do it. And there is also a toll-free number that you can call to pay by phone if you don't have, want to do the whole app thing and everything else. But be careful of that because parking is a lot cheaper than a ticket.
And I think it's just easier to go to the parking garages. You don't have to worry about time limits. Although on-street parking in the commercial metered areas will be free during the holidays for 3 hours.
That's right.
But it is strictly enforced, so if you need more than 3 hours, please go to the garages. State garage is free. Whitmore garage is only $2 after 4 o'clock for all evenings. Park Place garage has a free shuttle to downtown. It's only $1 an hour. City Annapolis residents park free if they go and pick up a parking pass at 60 West Street. So there's lots of options to be able to park downtown.
There
very
are,
cheap.
and I do remember when the Barney Mobile started to run, which is the little shuttle between the parking things, the purple shuttle that you see. I remember when it first launched, I was sitting in having brunch in Metropolitan, and I was fortunate enough to get the window seat. And they were busy, so I had lots of time on my hand as they, served us and everything else. So I was timing it, and it was spot on. And that was like one of the very first weekends. It was like, okay, all right, 10 minutes and 12 seconds. 9 minutes and 30. I was halfway hoping that it would be like a half hour and I could go into City Hall and say, what is this? But they have done a great job with that. So you want to make sure that you're using all of those things. And you can go to parkannapolis.com has all the information, right?
Yes, them, and also accessannapolis.com has a lot of the newer transportation schedules on it as well.
Very cool. And you do want to get familiar with this because once the garage is done, we ain't out of the woods yet because they're going to be redoing City Dock, making that a lot more green space. They're going to be eliminating most of the parking on that, which will be taken, some of it, by the garage that's being rebuilt. But that's going to get underway probably shortly after, I guess I would think, the boat shows.
So right after the boat shows is the goal to start the City Dock, and I think it's going to be a great experience for those who like the pedestrian experience, being able to sit out and enjoy the waterfront versus having a parking lot on the waterfront.
Yeah, as opposed to parking your car and enjoying the waterfront. It will be a spectacular place to be when it's done, and I do have to credit the committee of 100 that somehow pulled this all together, and and the vision of the mayor and the city to what it can be versus what it is. And oftentimes we're stuck in this is the way it's always been type of a mentality, but we've changed over the years. If we want how it's been, we need to be learning to throw our sewage out into the streets and lighting those lights by hand replacing the oil and lighting the lights every night when it gets dark. So we've got a great holiday season that's coming up, and I encourage everybody to get out and take advantage of it. Again, it starts on right after Thanksgiving, on Small Business Saturday, the Grand Illumination, the Midnight Madness, the Chocolate Binge Festival, the Annapolis Holiday Market, which will be exciting and new to see, New Year's Eve, and all of these things, I'm not sure about the Binge Festival, but all of these things are free.
Yes, so the Binge Festival does have a fee for that to participate, but all the other events are free downtown.
get down, enjoy Annapolis, and really see what Annapolis has to offer during the holiday seasons. The Downtown Annapolis Partnership and the Inter-West Street Association and the Annapolis Arts District and the city, and everybody has come together along with the merchants to make this a special time for everybody. And you do it time and time and time, year after year after year, and do it really well. What's looking forward? Your job, it's like painting a bridge, I think, with your job. Okay, yeah, I was half laughing and saying, yeah, well, the Christmas tree will get lit. And I'm like, yeah, and then Eric will get lit about 3 hours later.
Not sure I wait that long, but yeah.
You look forward to this. We've got, as soon as this is over, you're probably knee-deep in Annapolis Restaurant Week, which is the end of February, the beginning of March. I know you don't do it, but you're certainly involved with it. But the Annapolis Film Festival, which jumps in at the end of March into early April, you've got the St. Patrick's Parade, and I always hesitate to say St. Patrick's Day because it's never on St. Patrick's Day. That's March 5th. The Maryland Day celebration, which is March into early April, and it just goes on. The First Sunday Arts Festivals jump in again, Dinner Under the Stars, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Absolutely.
Another one, I don't have the specific date, which is also fun to do, but it's the Santa Speedo Run, and I think that is on the 17th. It's at O'Brien's, so if you are so bold enough to don a Speedo or something Christmassy, they're not too strict with that. They get underway at O'Brien's at about noon. They jog up to the top of Main Street down and maybe around City Dock. Quite a spectacle. And
it's definitely a spectacle.
There was somebody coming out of the Maryland Inn one time, didn't realize it was a wedding, and they came out and the photographer's there, and all of a sudden there's like 150 people running by in like various forms of Speedos, and men were topless and the women in the bikinis, and there was some that should never have been anywhere near a Speedo, and the bride was like initially in horror, and then they just absolutely loved it. It's fun. It is a toy drive, so you can bring an unwrapped toy and donate that, or you can just come out and gawk at it. It's a fun, sort of a quirky Annapolis tradition now at this point.
I think it has become a tradition.
Keep a look at the calendars that are around. Get down, enjoy Annapolis for what it is during the holiday seasons. If you do see Eric, thank him for all the hard work that he's doing. He's probably going to be the guy at the Christmas tree lighting getting pre-lit a little bit there. But you were obviously very well known in town. But when you see Eric, I mean, you guys, you're busting your chops to do this, and you and your staff of one?
My wife is a volunteer, and then I have some board members who volunteer. And for the holidays, Elfie is always a great volunteer to help me out. So it's great work.
But you are the only paid employee of the Downtown Annapolis Partnership, and you guys, depend on volunteerism and businesses joining the thing. And you're a nonprofit too. I mean, so if somebody wants to just donate, they can do that, I'm sure.
Absolutely, we love donations. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. So.
Well, there you go. And the website.
Website, downtownannapolispartnership.org.
Boy, that's a nice short one. And that will have all the information, pretty much of everything that we've talked about here. See everything there is to do. And, just before we wrap up, also a real kudos to you, because I know we haven't spoken in a while, but you guys did a hell of a job going through COVID. Keeping these businesses open, keeping them viable, finding ways for them to be viable and to promote themselves. I know that you totally revamped the website to make it the gift card push and everything else. Absolutely instrumental that we didn't lose nearly any number of businesses that we probably should have, or that any other municipality lost, and in large part due to your efforts.
Thank you. Yeah, we definitely beat the local and national trends of occupancy during COVID. I mean, some towns or shopping malls, got devastated during this time. As people know, they've seen a lot of national chains that couldn't survive, and the community really came together to support all the initiatives that we put in place to keep businesses surviving during COVID. So thank you.
All right, well, we will see you guys all at the Grand Illumination. We'll see you at the Midnight Madnesses and everything else that's going on in December. Eric, thank you so much for your time. And I think I'm going to go get a slice of this Billy Goat pizza and check that off my bucket list.
Sounds like a great plan. Thanks for having me.
This has been a bonus podcast from Eye on Annapolis. Please visit us at eyeonannapolis.net. Follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. And if you haven't subscribed to the Daily News Brief podcast, go for it. And all of your local news will be delivered to your phone, tablet, or smart device by 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday.